And you can see here just a bit of a hack kick, but under the pump, he blocked and got back to the mark. So unfortunately, he didn't mark it, and the result is the goal.
Even the contest by Chandler on the wing, he was fighting one down or two down against the Eagles players that were in that contest, but just brought it to ground and allowed the play to continue. You're right, the mids from Melbourne seem to be getting on top now in the third term. Viney 8 disposals. Bowie starting to get some ball as well, 9, Oliver 6.
Petrarca just trying to help Langford maybe get a vote or two in the Rising Star. And out of the centre they go again. Viney. McCarthy into space on the as far as Pickett breaks the tackle. Bangs it long. Van Rooyen caught underneath it. It is another push in the back.
Wow.
It's back in fashion. Harry Edwards can't believe it.
Certainly a change in interpretation.
Absolutely. As long as they're consistent with it now, Jared, and they pay it every game for every player.
Absolutely. I'm hoping this isn't an outlier.
Clearance work from Jack Viney as well. He's up to 10 clearances. The next best is Caleb Windsor at 3.
For the biggest lead of the afternoon. Van Rooyen lining up for his second goal as straight as an arrow. And the margin is 38 points in the Echoes of room.
Yeah, for those watching for the first time, probably internationally, that's not a boo.
It's not a boo.
That's a room. But the reality is, for too long, this has been interpreted as holding your ground. Van Rooyen's in the contest, and then he's out of the contest because he's been pushed. And if you take the front spot, you're entitled for protection. Jeez, he just nailed that kick. That ball was a little bit askew.
Well, all key defenders are on notice now.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, Joey? A little bit soft?
I don't mind it. It's the interpretation change this late in the season is probably one that the players are so used to being able to do that. It's hard to change habits in season, but West Coast have given away a few, and it's cost a number of goals. And Melbourne are out to a game-high 38-point lead. And that's all without Gawn really having any influence this quarter. As Cully's taken down by Baker. They need to just hang in here, West Coast. They've been really competitive for 2 and a bit quarters. After a bit of a slow start, and now the game might just break open. Langford, who's kicked a couple. McVee off half-back, Oliver. Getting a lot of ball now. Pops it up for Petrarca. Edwards thought he might have got a free kick. There is Andrew McCulty with some thinking. McCarthy. Kelly just tries to flick it out to Chesser. Coming through, Clayton Oliver. Chandler on his left. Clever little kick. Oh, just couldn't get over the hands of Edwards. And then Baker, dangerous across the face of goal. Dewey's got 2 to beat. He'll probably want the boundary line. In the end, the 2 went out. It was well done by Cully. Rivers to the top of the square. The fly is going to be Langford. Oh, couldn't take the mark. He'll be disappointed. Edwards,
Yeah, good pressure by Van Rooyen.
And the pressure in the front half has been terrific. The push on a couple of the Fremantle defenders has been excellent, just trying to block them.
West Coast.
Sorry, the West Coast, yeah. Legal pushes.
Go again. They've kicked the last 3, the Demons. Really put their foot down. As we close in on three-quarter time. It was Melbourne by 15 at quarter time, by 22 at half time. Hall, handballs, Viney, snaps, 4 in a row.
Shoemaker has been in and around there for 2 or 3 cracks. But once again, this was just good pressure. which turned over the handball. Melbourne feasted.
That makes it his 11th clearance, Jerry. But I think you're right, talking about the forward pressure that Melbourne have been able to apply. 17 forward 50 tackles, 18 to 4 ground balls inside their forward 50. So they've been busy, they've got to work. And he's having a terrific game, Jack Viney.
The Hall didn't quite know what to do. He didn't really want to pick it up because he could see he was about to be tackled. And in the end, his handball was smothered.
In really good form, Jack Viney, as we said, was terrific last week against St Kilda. Well, his game overshadowed by what happened at the end. 20 disposals, 11 clearances, 1 goal, 2.
Still a quarter to go.
Leading all score involvements. Williams, only as far as Oliver. Baker and Kelly working together. McCarthy with some dash. Will kick it as long and as far as he can. Ryan's got a couple to beat. Turner did well. Howe's got it up to McDonald, and his kick finds Sparrow. And you heard the call. Umpire clearly asking to understand.
Is that the Swan factor again? He did say on 360, stand is stand.
Come back on, stand. Play on.
Sparrow happy to go out to Rivers. And instead of blazing away, just pulls it for Cully.
This is the one where you just try and drop it in front of Max Gawn.
Gorney's in the goal square. The kick does sit for Max to get 2 hands to it. And there is the big man.
That's brilliant work from Melksham. I think it was Melksham. We'll get another look on replay. He was the front man, and he just stopped and blocked a couple of West Coast Eagles players coming at him and just led a little channel there for Big Max.
He dominated the first half. Hardly been sighted, and Jared is going with the round the body.
I like it.
Well, he's kicked 4 goals, 14.
This is just why.
So he might as well try something different. It works for the big man. He likes it.
Jocko Williams, his goal kicking coach, he loved it. Not sure he was around the corner man, but let's have another look to see if Melksham does play as big a role as I thought. Here we go. Melksham's out the back. There's a bit of a block there. Melksham's a block. You see him looking for Max, and then he just stops. And over the top comes the skipper. Domination,
too
Max
strong.
and Melksham.
Yep. Nah, Melky. He's a crafty player.
Yeah.
Smart. Max is just too big and too strong for Bailey Williams.
It's like someone cranked up the speed dial in this third quarter, and the Eagles just can't go with the Demons. It's 5 in a row. Margin 50. Gorn doing it all. Little fumble by McCarthy opens the door here for Viney. 20 disposals for Jack Viney.
Go on this way, guys, okay? Bailey, Max.
16 contested possessions.
Thank you.
11 clearances and a goal. So the captain and the vice-captain have responded brilliantly this afternoon. Here's Cully. High ball, Ryan's back there. Oh, look out, Ryan goes to ground, Pickett's lurking. Edwards under the pump. Jimby, who's been brilliant down back, to Duggan.
Nice
And they got themselves out of a pickle and they did it beautifully. McCarthy.
Play on. Play on.
Finds Hoff.
Stand. Yeah, go with him. Stand. Stay out here.
Back here. Melbourne pretty well set defensively at the moment, so goes lateral to Edwards.
You, me too. Yes.
He got it to Hewitt. He has a bit of grass in front of him. Just needs to pick the right option. He does well. Could have ruffled it, Shanahan or Cripps.
Once again, Joey, from a switch in their back half.
We're out.
So it's been the mode in which they've wanted to move the ball.
Come right out.
Hasn't had much of the footy today.
Next line, Joe. Thanks.
One of the legends of the West Coast who's still out there.
A couple of disposals.
Yep.
That's now 4 out of 5 opportunities. They've gone from D50 to inside 50 this quarter. And they've been able to score from 3 of them. Make it 4. Nice finish from the veteran Cripps.
And a nice call from you, Joe. He called it in flight. Right side of the post. But that was really good transition. And we said this before the start of the game. They'll be looking for little wins. And this is exactly what the coach would be looking for. You can see Cripps running back into the space. Not sure the kick was for him or for the leading forward, the youngster, but doesn't matter.
That's what speed of the ball movement gives you. You get a chance to get in behind your direct opponent. And Hewitt made the run, the first run, which broke open the play, got in behind Clayton Oliver.
Quickly, Christian.
It was a really nice delivery
Christian.
to Jamie Cripps. You're right, he's been a star.
He's been around for so long, such a potent weapon in their last premiership. Pressure forward, goal kicker, runner, hard runner. Been around for a long time, 33 years of age. Whether he goes on or not, I'm not sure, but he's made a big contribution to this club.
So 10 goals in this third term. 7 to the D's and 3 to the Eagles as Hoff is stripped of it. Chandler flicked that up to Pickett, to Oliver, to Salem. 2 on 2 in the pocket. Oh, he's got it. He rifled that.
Laurie, there's a Jimby Melksham contest that I was looking at, and Petty just positioned himself really well. It was a tough ball to mark. The kick from Salem went so high. It's a genuine contested mark.
So he's lining up for goal number 3. Harrison Petty.
That's a couple now that he's missed.
Yeah.
He's just got to do some work on that. The last time, a couple of times he's missed, he's hooked both. It's always missing to the left.
2-2 for the afternoon.
Yep.
No back, no momentum.
Wait for the call. Wait for the call.
Yeah, another one spoiled right on the goal line, Petty, so he's had 5 shots at goal. Marrick had plenty of kicks. So is this man McCarthy on that occasion. Couldn't get his hands free and he's been penalised.
He held the ball up initially. And that was his prior.
Try Cully working into the game this quarter. And again, caresses a nice 3-quarter ball for his forwards. And once again, Petty.
He might go around the corner. So
Why not?
work for Max
He's going around the corner anyway.
Come down to 10, please. Come out to 10.
Terrific couple of marks.
It's his 6th mark of the day.
Thanks. Head.
3rd contested mark.
Go closer. Go closer.
Can he make amends and kick number 3? He should from here.
Well, we had a great vision of that, didn't we? And a couple of stutter steps, but everything looked pretty simple there. So he's got some work to do just on his technique, which is something that everybody has to go through, get it right, so it stands up under pressure. There's the tackle. He lifted it, and then the great tackle. Grabbed an arm. He was shot. And he's presented really well. Found his space, jumped,
On the square.
and had strong hands.
It's been a dominant quarter by the Melbourne Football Club in and around the contest. Plus 8 in clearances allowed them to play the ball in their half. 15 inside 50s, 8 goals for the quarter. Starting to flex their muscles.
Here goes Oliver. Winding back the clock and banging it long. Harry Edwards worked his way in front, but it's a free kick to the Demons. Play on advantage is called. And Fritsch is going to bang through another goal. So Fritsch has got his 2nd. Smiles all round for the Demons. And it's a holding. big free.
Well, there's nothing in that. Let's be honest. If it was to Jake Melksham,
I'm not sure who it was to, because there was a couple of holes, but
I think it was Jake Melksham was going back to take the free kick.
yeah.
It didn't look like there was anything in it. 9 goals for the quarter.
Yeah, their best quarter of the year, Melbourne. 9 goals, 2. So they've put the foot down. Their offense certainly looking much better in recent weeks.
That's what happens with young sides, isn't it? As the game gets longer, the fatigue sets in.
Just have to hang in here because Melbourne are full of running. They might not be done with yet. Pickett, what a laser for Fritsch. Well, want to look for an option first. And now he's going to have to back himself in.
Has he got a torpedo in him, or is he just a long drop punter?
Or is he going to pull this one for Gawn? Not Bailey. He's going to go for home. Why not? Make it 10. The perfect 10 for the D's in quarter 3.
That is just a great kick. It's amazing just how quickly his form failed in this year, but he seems to come back. I mean, he's one of the great kicks of the competition a few years ago. His record in the grand final of that particular year absolutely elevates him to legendary status of this football club. And yet, like a lot of players, he lost his form, lost his way, but he's had to work his way back, and now he's nailing them from outside 50. A great kick.
That'll be recalled.
That man we saw on the boundary line, Luke Shuey, a great of the Eagles, has the highest rated premiership or grand final record on record for his game in 2018.
Baker up over the top. Rivers rising. So it's 3/4 time and Melbourne lead by 63 points. And that equals the most the D's have scored in a quarter under Simon Goodwin. So after the disaster of last week, they have responded in the most impressive fashion. 69-105, the Eagles 66-42.
All right, there we go. Melbourne, hey, Stephen, how you going? Melbourne certainly has something to smile at 3/4 time here. 16-9-105, the West Coast Eagles, 66-42. Tell you what, the Demons put on 10 goals, 2. They're on fire in that third term. 10 goals, 2 they put on. West Coast Eagles could only manage 3 goals, 3. There we go. All right, let's go and have a look at the goal scorers so far in this match. And of course, for Melbourne, we've got a few multiple goal scorers there. Harrison Petty and Bailey Fritsch, both with 3 goals up until 3/4 time. Jacob Van Ruin, Harvey Langford with 2. Jack Viney, Trent Rivers, Melsham, Maxi Gawn, Jai Cully, and of course, Cade Chandler with singles for the West Coast Eagles. Liam Ryan, all singles to Liam Ryan, Archer Reid, Ryan Marrick, Jamie Cripps, and Campbell Chesser. Of course, Tyler Brockman's got one also. Let's have a look at the ball magnets out there. Christian Salem there for Melbourne, tops the table. There's a couple on 25. Christian Salem's one of them for Melbourne, 15 kicks, 10 handballs. And, of course, Ryan Marrick for the West Coast Eagles, also on 25 with 16 kicks, 9 handballs, 3 tackles. Clayton Oliver, well, there we go. He's playing the West Coast Eagles, but he's having a better game. 24 touches, 4 clearances, 5 tackles so far. Going well at the moment. Tim Cole, 23. Tom McCartney, 22. Let's just roll on down. Jack Viney, 20 disposals so far for Melbourne. He's kicked 1 goal, 2. Of course, Maxi Gawn Tell you what, he's certainly got a big smile on his face today because he's kicked a sausage roll. That's it. He's kicked a major. Maxi Gawn's kicked a goal. He's had 18 touches, 7 kicks, 11 handballs, 22 hitouts, and a clearance. Christian Petrarca up to 17. Liam Duggan on 18 there for the Eagles. Tim Kelly having a reasonable game. 17 touches, 7 and 10, 4 clearances for him so far. Liam Baker, tell you what, he always gives in a good show, doesn't he, for the West Coast Eagles? He's had 15 and 3 clearances. Let's just roll down a little bit more. Bailey Fritsch, 12 touches. He kicked a couple in that third term. 6 and 6, 3 straight goals for him. Melsham, I don't know, wasn't much in that free kick. I don't really even think that was there, but the advantage was taken, and Fritsch kicked that goal for Melbourne. There we go. Jai Cully down there. He's just had the 9 disposals so far, Stephen. 6 kicks, 3 handballs, 4 marks, a tackle, 2 clearances, but he has slotted a goal there for Melbourne. Archer Reid just on the 8. I haven't seen Harley Reid. Harley Reid must be out for today. Let me just check on the lineups. There we go. Yeah, Harley Reid was out. Jai Cully, Harry Sharp came in for Melbourne. Xavier Lindsay, Charlie Spargo went out for Melbourne. Jai Cully was the new player. Harry Sharp was the sub. The West Coast Eagles, yeah, Harry Edwards, Campbell Chesser, Tom Gross, Hamish Davies came in. Of course, Sandy Brock, Jack Hutchinson, Matt Flynn and Harley Reid were omitted. They were out of the West Coast Eagles team with Hamish Davies in. All right. That are your player stats up until three-quarter time, I should say, folks, up until three-quarter time. Certainly Melbourne, I don't think, can let this game go. They look to be on song today, I tell you what, especially after that third quarter. It was a pretty tight game up until half-time, where the margin was just 22 points. But, Melbourne certainly extended that lead really well, out to 63 points so far. So this is a game I think the West Coast Eagles won't come back, not like St Kilda, where it was devastating for Melbourne last week. But I think this is a game Melbourne will extend, and they'll be happy campers today. All right, let's head back down to the commentators. Oh, he's out. Harley Reid's out for the rest of the season. Oh, wow. Oh, there we go. Anyway, there's only 3 more games anyway. So, look, it'll be good for see how the West Coast players step up without him. They have to. Some of the other players, they need to shine a light and step up because they look pretty ordinary at the moment to the Eagles, unfortunately. All right, hey, let's head back down to the ground and they'll take us into the bounce of the ball for the final quarter as the Demons by 63.
Eddie, I really did like Ozzie Pickett's quarter that term. He had 5 score involvements from his 8 possessions. He was pretty quiet in the first half, but back to his best.
5 goals from D50, so probably backing up what Eddie was talking about there. The ability to transition, use those high half forwards to get involved and then continue on. You see there, Viney's having a terrific game. 16 contested possessions from his 20, 11 clearances, 7 score involvements, 1 goal, 2. A lot of their leaders have really stood up in and around the ball.
Let's see Caleb Windsor get a bit more footy and do a little bit. Only had a touch in that turn, 7 for the afternoon. It's a young bloke who is very much part and parcel of Melbourne's future.
So the Melbourne experienced mids getting it done. Massive third quarter. 10 goals to the Demons kicked. Their highest quarter of footy under Simon Goodwin. And they might not be done with yet. So we'll restart the fourth quarter. There is Windsor. Wrapped up by William Baker. Just 7 disposals for Caleb Windsor.
Yeah, let's see how he goes now that he's been thrown into the middle. Because that's clearly his future as an inside mid.
Viney, that's been his whole career as an inside mid. Can't get boot the ball, neither can Petrarca. Good pressure here from West Coast. Got to show some fight in this fourth quarter. Marrick. Bit of a nothing ball, and Melbourne have won the contest again. Smashing West Coast in the contested possessions. Petrarca.
coming through. There he is. This is what we want to see from young Windsor. Gives them Winburn. Touch. Well done, Jimby. Again, the desperation of Ruben Jimby has saved another goal.
I did like Petrarca in that role across the half-forward line that you're talking about, John.
Yep, just competed 2v1. I think he can be a real threat.
Yeah.
Although Meltram's been a revelation this year down forward. There hasn't been too many more.
I like the look of this build-up as Baker wobbles it in. Not quite unable to take that mark. Shanahan hasn't been able to get his hands on it much today. Well played by Turner. And Eddie, it looks like the West Coast Eagles have activated their sub.
Yes, they have. Tyrell Jules being subbed off and Hamish Davis is on.
So no Dua. All the rising star nominations for the Eagles this year. And the 19-year-old Hamish Davis playing just his 5th AFL game. First-year player in his first game since round 7.
Petty was taking 5 marks inside 50, takes this one up on the wing and will send it forward. Fridge heard the voice of Petrarca. Again, unselfishly gives the handball, gets it back. Didn't have a lot to go to. West Coast have really folded back hard, so he had to retreat to Van Rooyen, who just had to caress it, and they did it well. They thought it through nicely, the Demons, and it'll be Langford.
He's got the journey, difficult angle.
I thought seeing Petrarca handball it to Langford in last quarter was just one of the things you want to see from a senior player. He goes back and kicks the goal and burns the young kid. It really does send a shocking message. So it was excellent leadership from Petrarca that you'd expect.
High degree of difficulty. Won't get there, but Gawn's going to get the run and jump at it. Got hands to it.
Well, he's only spoiled by Van Rooyen.
That's right.
He won't do the ruck work, Max.
So you'd love to see Gawn just stay there and just do the ruck work.
Runs out behind the ball. Gives Van Rooyen a chance against Bazzo. Still been a threat, that play. Cole's all over the set play for Langdon.
Yes, good call by the umpire. No prior. Nailed completely.
Van Rooyen out into space. Fritz traps and spins and snaps the goal. It's his 4th. It's all too easy for these Demons. And it's blown out to 70-point margin.
Well, John, this is more like it. I mean, this is exquisite skill. And when you see this ball control with the one hand, just have a look at that little bit of magic. Tucks it in with the left, spins out, nails the goal. And that's what's been missing from this bloke's game for a period of time. Just the confidence. Wherever it went, I'm not sure, but gee, it looks like it's back.
He's on the move. So any forward who gets on the move is really difficult to defend. Gets back on his favourite left foot. 4 goals from forward 50 for the game, Melbourne.
It's his best result for the season as well. Kicked 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the last 3, plus 4. That's 12 in his last 4 games.
And he's up to 31 for the season, closing in on Cosy Pickett with 36. He might still win another goal-kicking award at Melbourne.
I'm going to say 5. He's won 5 already.
Cowley. Salem. There's Gross. One of these youngsters. Stack of them out here today for West Coast. Williams kick inside 50. Well done. Again from Turner.
He reads it well. He's brave in the air.
Good kick. It's his second intercept mark to Rivers. He wants to get it moving. Van Rooyen's got the run and jump. Again, Jimby came over to support. Ruben Jimby, one of 4 West Coast Eagles players to have played every game. It's been a tough year for them. Liam Baker, Jimby, Duggan and Marrick.
They've used 37 on their list. There's 3 that haven't played. A couple of retired players, of course, during the season as well. McGovern, Waterman, an All-Australian last year, out for the season with a shoulder injury.
Jack Viney's still pulling the grass out of his teeth after being pile driven.
And then he gets a toe poke away. Marrick fighting and scrapping. Chandler asking the question.
And West Coast, they will celebrate McGovern and Sheed's retirements next week at home against the Adelaide Crows, the West Coast Eagles, so that'll be a special occasion for them.
A couple of big names there.
Viney.
He lost Jeremy McGovern, isn't he, Jerry? Well, I think they thought he probably still had another 2 or 3 years of footy in him, high quality footy that could really stabilise their defence.
Good to see Jocko smiling.
Yes. A bit different to last week, isn't it, Jared, in those final frantic
nothing
seconds?
to smile about there, but just getting back to McGovern, to me, he's the best defender of the modern era. I know that some say rants. To me, McGovern was the best over this probably this century. Intercept, one of the great kicks. Thoughts, Jordan?
It's a good argument. He was always someone that you would plan around.
Bowie goes in the direction of Penny again, and he's got it. Oh, he's finally come up.
If you had any doubt, both central umpires called it.
Yeah. Well, they're consistent.
He's been on the other end of that call, having booted 3 goals 2 this afternoon. And there it is. Kelly, disposal number 20. And straight to Gorn. They did that a lot in the opening half.
It is going to be fascinating to watch tonight as to how they interpret the push in the back, because that's how it's supposed to be paid, but it hasn't been paid like that for 5 years. Not since Steve Hocking turned over the hands in the back row. But there's been no point taking the front spot for the last 5 or 6 years because you just get shoved out.
So Harry Sharp has been subbed in. So Jake Milcham was a player subbed out.
Gorn got it to Oliver. Around the body, great courage from Duggan. Here's Petrarca. Again, another give. Oliver, also unselfish. Spills to Langdon. Does he get it right? And it'll float right to the goal line. It went up and over and back and almost came back.
Yeah, through his headband.
Good call by the
review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball is touched by the West Coast defender prior to crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
Middle here, Brownie. Yeah.
I saw a goal paid at Moorabbin once back in the 70s where the ball went across the line and then got blown back out.
Used to happen at Williamstown.
Yes.
North Ballarat. I remember happening one day. So the behind counts. Of course, Melbourne next week take on the Western Bulldogs at the MCG. Red hot Bulldogs after their performance on Thursday night before playing Hawthorn and Collingwood to finish the season.
You're not going to see it blown back in here, Jared.
I doubt it all.
Concerns if it does.
Rivers.
Oh, what?
McDonald.
That's right.
I think so. Langdon goes down the line. Still hungry for more goals these days. 14 minutes to play. There's Jake Melcham subbed out.
Just on that sub too, Jake Melcham was getting his hammies rubs. And I saw Goody walk up and said, mate, we're going to sub you out. And he stayed there for another minute getting his hammy rubbed.
His hammies have been running hot in the last month for Jake Melcham. And Jared, as a former Melbourne player, he gets an extension another year.
Yeah, I think 17 other clubs would give him a Guernsey if Melbourne didn't.
Loose ball on the outer side. Toe poke. Here's a chance for Brockman. Up over the top is Gross. Another Cripps.
Magnificent kick.
You're out. Yep. Stay out here. Out here. That's the line.
Jamie Cripps. He's never been the leading goal kicker of this side. He's had one this afternoon. He's got 20 for the season. And the next best is Ryan with 18. So we might add another little individual honour to his name before the year's out. 2 today, and that takes him to 21 for the season.
There's a good finish, Jared.
Yeah. Just going through jump time. It's good to see guys nail those kicks. I mean, this kick was superb, and then Cripps goes back and honours it.
Nice little weighted kick from Brockman. All started there with Hewitt off half-back.
And he's a ripper too, Hewitt.
Go, guys.
He's very much part of the past for the Eagles, and Hewitt's going to be clearly part of the future. He, after a really slow start to his career with injury, he's been impressive, Joey.
He has 21 disposals this afternoon, just one shy of a career high, 22. They should get that. Here is Davis, the sub. Getting some opportunity. It's a good kick too for Cripps. Kelly worked hard to provide an option short. It went there, but just from Windsor, yeah, just held up a little bit too long. Windsor did well not to give away the free kick. Duggan again goes back with courage, takes the mark, and comes inboard for Gross. Well, that was ambitious for McCarthy. Chandler did well to get the hands free. Now they're away and running again. Windsor. Sparrow got to Fritsch, and now the sub sharp. Oliver working hard. Oliver will get it, and it's an open forward line. The West Coast have worked back hard. So it was clever play just to wait, allow for the runner. Now a deep ball. Chance here for Langdon, who had one denied moments ago. Not this time, and he joins the party.
It'll be great to see where Langdon comes from, because he just runs so hard, and he's just swooped on that, picked it up clean as a whistle, and goals. But it started with Windsor, and I reckon next year we're going to see Windsor play as an inside. There he goes. Really good kick. But Windsor had started with on the half-back line. He's going to be a starting inside the square player. I think that'll be part of his development. But he's going to need to put in a huge pre-season to back it up. But this bloke runs until he's just about exhausted.
Windsor sucking in the oxygen on the bench.
Here we go.
71 points. 12 minutes to play. Van Rooyen and Reid in the ruck. Archer Reid still eligible for a Rising Star nomination. And he taps it down. Hewitt. Oliver. Brute force. Now spinning around was Viney. Van Rooyen. Quick. Petty. Right place. Too far out to score. Into the pocket he goes. Langford met heavily off the ball. Head over the ball now.
Play this. Yep.
Which means Cully wins the free. And I think John might have let his former teammate Red Bazzo know about it just down there. Little whisper in his ear. So Jai Cully, who kicked his first goal for the Demons in his first game. I think it was Troy Simmons that handed over the jumper in a little pre-match ceremony down in the rooms beforehand. To make it 2 and to make his day, well, it is coming back, but
That's
not what he hoped.
finding a positive.
It's trying to find positives in this game today. And there's been some shining lights for both sides, particularly this man, Jimby. And back to Cully. He'll get another crack at it again.
He's got the trucker in the middle. He ignores him.
He goes to the top of the goal square. Fritsch still hungry. Jimby flicks it out. Here's Hall. Body on the line. Tackled by Viney, who looks as hungry as ever. As hungry as he started at the opening bounce this afternoon. The review would have been hard for Jack Viney and Max Scorn and all the leaders from last week. But Viney's led from the front. Marrick with the exiting kick down to Cripps, and that'll be 50. So Cripps with a couple. They're all flooding down.
Well, Melbourne have got the advantage inside forward 50.
Shanahan wants it. He doesn't go in that direction instead. And that's Howes outmarking Liam Ryan.
Oh, Bowie, that kick was ambitious, looking for sharp. Right from Chesser.
So the Melbourne forward 50 up to 21 tackles inside their forward 50. West Coast only one for the game. It's such an important element of the way good sides play, forward pressure.
And 27 is their season high for Melbourne, 450 tackles. Comes against the Dockers. Could have been a free kick to Van Rooyen from Reid. Umpire let him play. McCarthy on the left boot. Shanahan coming out.
Well, that is just a little jewel to take home for the West Coast Eagles. Just a little gem. Because it's the way he reads it, the way he's so balanced. He sees it. He's left Tom McDonald in his way, and he's just jumped and nailed it.
Not big numbers today, but he's shown more than enough that he's going to be a very good AFL key forward. 19 years of age today. And this will be a nice little birthday gift for Jobe Shanahan. And he's got it.
I think you're right, Jerry. You can just sort of see that he's got great timing.
Yeah.
He's, you know, for a relatively young key forward, it looks like he's got great strength when he takes off.
Well, acceleration.
Yeah.
He's going to be a beauty potentially.
1 or 2 metres on Tom McDonald fairly quickly. See there, bottom of the screen. It's a nice grab.
Most underrated thing in footy, in my view, is what goes on between the ears. And that kid, just by looking at the way he read that, has clearly got a pretty good footy brain.
Made his debut here against Collingwood back in round 16. His opponent was Darcy Moore, and he did kick a goal on debut against him. As the D's go forward once again. Bazzo, Cripps, Chandler. Oh, the lead from Cully! Drives on a high!
Well, talking about a gem and a jewel to take home, it was a brilliant kick, but it was made that much better because this bloke has just lit up the ground with that mark.
He's lifted a few this afternoon. He wanted to put his name up in lights. For his second goal. He said to the Eagles, you delisted me. I'm back, and I'm back to haunt you.
Geez, it shows a bit, Jordan.
Good aerial. Yeah. Great aerial game. I like the little wink after it to Christian Petrarca as well. A little bit like we're saying with Shanahan, the players who can take 2 quick steps and time the ball.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. So it's mature body. That's a terrific mark.
What a luxury to have, though. 2 big wingmen, Cully and Langford, left footers. They can get forward and take grabs like that.
Yeah, spot on it.
Yeah, it was something we see with Curtis at Adelaide. Those tall wingmen that are able to drift up and back. Become pretty important.
A couple of contested marks for Jai Cully to go with those couple of goals. And a nice debut in Melbourne colours. Melbourne looking for their season high score. They kicked 131 points against the Swans. And their best win of the season. Still got time to beat that. Bowie. It's going to be their biggest win of the year. Sitting at 71 points. As we We said it gets tougher from here for the Demons with the Bulldogs, Hawthorn and Collingwood. 3 teams fighting for top 8, top 4 spots. All 3 at the MCG. And they'll take a lot of confidence out of this and out of the 3 quarters against St Kilda last week as well. Some pretty big scores on the board.
Yeah, they haven't been beaten by much. 6 points to St Kilda, 8 points to Carlton. Even the better teams in Adelaide and Gold Coast, they only went down by 3 goals. So those sides that play the Melbourne Football Club over the next week, you still can't treat them lightly because they have been competitive in some really big games.
Well, you only have to look at the names in and around the footy to know that there's still plenty of talent.
And they're all in good form, aren't they? All playing well. Chesser. He's had a good first game of the season. Campbell Chesser, 15, 16 disposals.
Eddie's trying to
Eddie.
fire up.
You're wearing gloves, Eddie.
What's the one glove, Eddie?
One glove.
He's either found one or lost one. I'm not sure what's happened.
Just the one. I've got to hold the other one with the microphone.
Gordon Devine. The Windsor. To centre half forward Fridge. Kicked 4 straight. It is a training drill. Took the words out of my mouth. Here's Windsor unselfishly. Harry Edwards worked in front of Cully. Cully was eyeing 3. Paul. Bowie worked his way in front. Now Pickett breaks the tackle. Takes a bounce. To the goal square he goes. And again, Edwards is there to make sure there's no major. Let's have a look at Eddie on the boundary. That's where he used to do his best work.
First tackle, he's late.
Look at that one
That'll
glove.
be the first tackle, Geordie.
Get a lip to Liam Ryan.
Mark Carlin did well for contested footy.
Oh, and that's an absolute shower from Liam Duggan. An absolute gift for Christian Petrarca.
I think he needed a bit more ball security there, Jared, because I took it straight off him.
That's as bad as you'll see from West Coast. The skipper. A bit risky in that first quarter, some of those kick-ins. Petrarca started like a house on fire. He set the tone the first 15 minutes of the game. Just the 21 disposals. Hasn't kicked a goal yet. For the highest score of the season, Petrarca splits the middle.
I don't think you can kick a ball better than that. That was absolutely, even if you got a slide rule out, you couldn't have got centre perfect better than that.
You got what out?
Slide rule. Oh. Used to use those back before computers.
You're right, it's a gift.
Could have gone with an average.
Look at that.
I'm not sure what he was thinking there. He must have looked up and thought had a West Coast jumper on.
So the Demons' biggest win of the season came against the Swans at the MCG in round 11. That was 53 points. And then just a tick over 5 minutes away from celebrating their biggest win. 78 points is the margin. This is McCarthy. Inside 50, it goes along the end of it as Brockman. The 2 number 10s. And it was a lovely pass from Chesser. Brockman with a goal in the second term. There's been really a couple of feel-good stories for either team this afternoon. Chesser, who fed that ball in, coming in for his first game for the year, has shown a bit. Shanahan with a goal on his birthday for the West Coast Eagles. Reed's been lively in the ruck and up forward. And Brockman, something late. No, it's at the post.
Talk about some positives, Cal. Tom McCarthy, who's now playing in the midfield. His first 7 games of AFL footy since mid-season, and he has only Harry Sheezel's had more kicks in their first 7 games since 1999, in over 25 years. That's the impact that Tom McCarthy has made. He looks a special player.
He does.
For a mid-season recruit. He set up that opportunity to score. Turner with a fist. McDonald had to be clean. And then shows a little bit of agility. Wins up.
Showing off there, Tommy McDonald. Little balk and a chip. Windsor had plenty of footy in this last quarter.
He's had as many touches as he had in the first three. Calvin Windsor. Melbourne happy now just to play kick the kick and wind down the clock.
It's going to be a good test for Melbourne. Put last week's 30 minutes aside. The next 3 weeks is going to be a good test. If they can finish off with a victory against 1 or 2 of these top-end sides, really gives them a platform for next year.
Yeah, I think Geordie's spot on. You wouldn't want to be slightly off if you're Collingwood, Hawthorn, or the Bulldogs. There's so much on the line against this Melbourne team. Particularly offensively now, they've found their groove. And Liam Ryan will end up going back, trying to kick number 2. Quiet day for Ryan. Oh, he went off with that head knock after an accidental collision with Trent Rivers earlier in the game, the second quarter. He just casually caresses and they go back-to-back posters.
Well, Melbourne were really inaccurate in the first quarter, and they've been really accurate since. 2012, it's a good ratio. Choco, their goal-kicking coach, will be pleased.
Now he sits it up to Van Rooyen, the leaper in the pack. Langford. One-on-one, Cozzy Pickett. V. Hoff. Hoff gets the climb, bounce, goes again. Cozzy racks him up.
How clever is he? Yes. Hoff did a great job not to let the ball over the back and Cozzy get it, but just you cannot escape a tackle from Pickett.
So in that case, he's better off tapping the ball forward than taking possession.
Has he kicked a goal this afternoon, Cozzy?
As soon as he took possession, Cozzy just nailed him, and he's going to have a shot at goal. It's pretty clever the way he grabbed his arm.
Cozzy, what? Yeah, there. Start on it.
12 individual goal kickers, but no K. Pickett there yet. And he misses to the near side. So when the siren sounds, it'll be official for the West Coast Eagles. They will claim the wooden spoon. It'll be their second wooden spoon in 3 years.
There is McCarthy. Through the middle to Ryan. Reads out the back. Can he take a contested mark? Oh, coming from everywhere. McVee done a really good job on Cripps. Baker went without it. Hewitt.
Reed's hurt himself.
And McVee to Windsor. And they're away and running again. Saw Eagle. Reed off the ball. Here's Hoff. They might have to stop play. Yeah, they will now. You heard the umpires. Bazzo finds Davis. It is Archer Reed.
It's just over his nice shoulder.
Looks to be gasping for air. He may just be
Grabbing the ribs.
Winded.
Just winded. Good old-fashioned winding.
Done some nice things today, Archer Reed. 1 goal, 1. Bit of ruck work against Max Gawn. Tough ask for these young key forwards, Shanahan and Reed, but they've continued to present. He looks to be okay, fingers crossed. It's a little round of applause for his efforts. So West Coast will now have to try and manufacture a shot at goal with almost everyone in the forward half of the ground here for the Eagles. Ryan will pull the kick, looking for a teammate, but instead it was Tom McDonald. Certainly top 10 in the competition for average intercept possessions. The veteran playing good footy, kick Sparrow. Couldn't find him quite there. Jimby is going to see that one out of bounds. Said the West Coast Eagles will finish the year With Adelaide at home next week, where they will celebrate McGovern and Sheed retirements, then they come back to play the Western Bulldogs at Marvel, which is going to be tough. And then they finish with the Sydney Swans back at home at Optus Stadium. The youngest side of the round.
Kelly. Clever little flick on there. By Hewitt, although it comes unstuck. Windsor. Found plenty of the free in the final turn. Slipping over Cully and he's still marking it. He gives it to Windsor, who can have a trot. On the city wing, he kicks to Fritsch, marking it centre half forward. His eyes light up. He doesn't go for home. He gives it off to the rising star favourite in some eyes in Langford. So Langford for his third adds the finishing touches.
Melbourne's been working a lot on their transition, and there's probably, despite the fact that it's Rich's up to the present time, hasn't been a better example of what they're chasing than what we have just seen.
So after last week's capitulation, where they conceded the last 9 goals to St Kilda, they've responded against the cellar dwellers. The West Coast Eagles, it's official, will claim the wooden spoon. And it's all smiles there for the captain and the vice-captain.
Yeah, they both had big games, haven't they? Jack Viney leads all blazing clearances, 13, terrific effort.
15 points at quarter time, 22 at the half, 63 at three-quarter time. Melbourne's leaders under the blowtorch all week, and they've responded in the best possible fashion. The D's celebrate their biggest win of the season. Final margin 83 points, 21-13, 139. West Coast 8-8-56. French finished with 4 and 3 for Langford and also Petty.
Jack Viney led from the front of it, and the skipper Max Bond couldn't have done any more. Just totally dominated clearances. Petrarca was excellent early and late. And it was a good all-round team performance. Up against a pretty young and inexperienced, very beatable opposition, but they needed to do what they did, and they did it in fine fashion.
That was the result we expected, Jared. You're right, you get through. 3 more games to go. Can you cause a few headaches coming into the end part of the season?
Still to come on Fox Footy this afternoon. We've got 3 more games. It'll finish with Collingwood and the Brisbane Lions later tonight. Maybe a grand final preview, of course. They played in the grand final a couple of years ago. But first, the Tigers head north. They're bursting through the banner. They've got 5 wins to their name, sitting in 16th place. And they're going to go head-to-head with the Gold Coast Suns, chasing their 13th win and a chance to jump back into the top 8. These two sides head-to-head right after this.
All right, there we go, Fred. It was definitely a better game from Melbourne today. 21-13, 139, defeating the West Coast Eagles, 8-8-56. It was the Demons by 83 points, putting on 5 goals, 4 in that final term. The Eagles could only manage 2 goals, 2. It was good to see the Melbourne Demons wanting to run that game right out. Of course, they didn't want to, well, let anything possibly happen like happened last week. But they were really good, 21-13, 34 scoring shots to 16. Fantastic game there for the Demons. They'll be happy. Of course, they've got a couple of hard games coming up in the final 3 rounds of the AFL home and away season. But, as the commentators said, they need to win some of those games to get a little bit of confidence going into next season. Hey, let's have a little bit of a look at the goal scorers for the match, see how it ended up. And, of course, Bailey Fritsch ended up with 4 goals, topping the table for Melbourne. Harrison, Petty, Langford, both with 3. Van Ruin, Cully ended up with 2. And there was a host of others. WA Footy Kid, how you doing? How you doing? Jack Viney ended up getting a goal with Trent Rivers, Petrarca, Melsham, Langdon, Gorn, Chandler. Tell you what, there was a few singles for the Demons, and of course for the West Coast Eagles, Jamie Cripps ended up with 2, the only multiple for the Eagles. You missed the street. That's all right. There's always tomorrow. I won't be able to do any more footy today. I'm just doing one NRL game over there at the moment, but yeah, I've got to head out shortly, so I won't be able to cover the Gold Coast Richmond or the next game or the Collingwood Brisbane game. Unfortunately, I really wanted to do the Collingwood Brisbane game. I'll just have to watch that where I'm going. So there we go. Archer Reid ended up with a single with Liam Ryan, Shanahan, and Chesler for the West Coast Eagles with Brockman. Disposal getters out on the ground. Leading disposal getter, and the only one in the 30s, Christian Salem there for Melbourne, ended up with 30 with 18 and 12 couple tackles to him. Ryan Marriott, not too bad there for the West Coast Eagles on 29. Oliver, probably his highest possession game for a while, 28. And, of course, Pickett with 26. Tom McCarthy, not bad, 26 there for the Eagles, 5 clearances. Jack Viney, wow, I tell you what, he had a bit of a day out, didn't he? I tell you what, 25 touches, 8 tackles, 13 clearances, 1 goal, 2. Fantastic game from him. Petrarca on 23. Elijah Hewitt for the Eagles on 23. Tim Kelly, 25. Tell you what, he got a few touches, but he's not making much of an impact there. Wouldn't surprise me. It's his last season. Tim Kelly. Maxi Gawn, 21 touches. As I said, he kicked a goal, 29 hit-outs, a couple clearances for him. Fantastic effort, as always, from Maxi Gawn as we just roll down through. Tom Sparrow there with 14. Jai Cully ended up with 13. 2 clearances, 2 goals off his 9 kicks, so a good effort from him. Ed Langdon with 11 touches. He kicked a goal. There we go. Who else? We got Archer Reid for the Eagles. 8 touches, 1 goal, 1. There are your player stats. Hey, let's just have a quick wrap-up of the team stats. It was plus 76 disposals to Melbourne. Fantastic effort. I tell you what, inside 50s. What was that scoring shots again? Melbourne went inside 58 times for 34 scoring shots. That is absolutely brilliant. 34 scoring shots for their 58 inside 50s. Well done, Melbourne. They made nearly everyone count. 45 inside 50s there for the West Coast Eagles. And, of course, that efficiency inside 50, that's a fantastic number, 62% at the final siren. Free kicks wasn't too bad. Nice and light on there. Couple iffy ones given, but the umpires pretty much let the play roll on today. 15-13 plus 2 to Melbourne. Surprisingly enough, the Eagles won the hit-outs today by 1. There we go. Clearances, the Demons by 10. That was 6 in the centre clearances they were, plus there. And, of course, around the stoppage clearances, plus 4. Contested possessions, they did it well. They did it well. Plus 42 contested possessions today. Well done, Melbourne. And plus 44 uncontested. Not a bad turnover game, not overly too high. Pretty much on season average for the Eagles, under season average for the Demons. So that was fantastic. And, of course, they were plus 19 in the marks. Marks inside 50. I tell you what, both teams had plenty of marks inside 50. Gave their forwards a good opportunity. 17-13, Melbourne plus 4. And, of course, Melbourne a bit strong in the contested marks, 14-16. Just looking at the tackle count there, Melbourne on season average, 57. Eagles well down. But you got to love this. You got to love this from your small forwards. 22 inside 50 tackles for Melbourne. Absolutely brilliant. Only the 2 to the West Coast Eagles. I always like to see this tackle count up to around 70, 75 if I can, no matter who the team is. But that is the game. Is how White, how you going? Is it possible for Geelong Cats to beat Port Adelaide by 100 points? I don't know about 100 points. I don't know about 100 points. I think, you just never know with Port Adelaide. They're doing it for Ken Hinkley's last season, his last 3 games. Look, Port Adelaide could give the Cats a little bit of a run, but you would expect Geelong to have a reasonably comfortable victory. I'd probably put it down to around the 40-point mark. But you just never know with Port Adelaide. Sometimes they can bring their A game. Sometimes they can bring their Z game. we know how well Geelong are going. But Geelong in that game, I'll tell you what, Geelong want to do all things well. They want to press. They want to press for 4 quarters because they've got a really easy run on the way home to the finals. So they're going to make everything count and do everything well. And if they get out to a margin, I'll tell you what, they need to put these teams away to stand them in reasonable stead for the lead up to the finals. Playing all those easier games. All right, folks. Hey, thanks all for coming in. This is all I got for this coverage this time around. I'll be back. Unfortunately, as I said, I won't be back for any more football today. I've got to head on out. So for the AFL football action, we'll be back tomorrow to cover some more games. Let me just recap the games for tomorrow. And, of course, you've got St Kilda, North Melbourne, Geelong and Port Adelaide, and Fremantle, Carlton. So I probably will, I'll probably do the Geelong, Port Adelaide, and then the Fremantle, Carlton game. As I said, yeah, that should be an interesting game, that Geelong, Port Adelaide. Down there at GMHBA Stadium, the home of Geelong, you would expect a nice win from them down there. Just around the grounds at the moment, the other game started 5 minutes into the opening term. It's a Gold Coast leading Richmond 6-0. And Sydney and Essendon are just about to get underway too. But as I said, unfortunately, I can't cover those games. But all I can say for tonight is go Pies. There we go. All right, folks. Hey, that's it from me. Thanks all for coming in. 100%. The poll went for Melbourne today. We got that one right. 100%. Not often do we get 100% poll, but it was fantastic to see. And good to see Melbourne can finally smile again. All right, folks. Until tomorrow, the next game, ciao for now. We'll see you at the next game.